This is the Wharf waterfront. It just opened in Southwest DC, along the Potomac River. And for the first time in a while, the area is actually a pretty cool place for people to hang out. The waterfront has changed a lot in the past couple of years. Aside from the historic fish market, all the infrastructure is new. Meet Karen. She is a biology professor at GW. And she has been coming to the local market since before construction started.
If you visited this area before, there was just nothing to visit. It was just kind of empty in terms of development. It was not going to draw any people here. And even this market generally felt pretty empty.
But for the past 3 years, developing company P.N. Hoffman has been working to give the Southwest waterfront a makeover. And what makes this development different from others in DC? It has a major focus on sustainability. Meet Matt. He was the associate project director for the first phase of the Wharf's construction, and his role focused a lot on sustainability.
You know, sustainable buildings are healthy buildings, and the healthy buildings are going to make happy people, and at the end of the day, it's about the people that are living, working, playing in these environments.
The Wharf creates healthy buildings in a lot of ways. It has green roofs next to rooftop bars and restaurants, floating wetlands that people can kayak around, and absorbent sidewalks that collect water pollution. These efforts are a big deal because the Wharf overlooks the Potomac River, which has been struggling with pollution for over 50 years. But with the help of smarter urban planning, the river is healthier now than it has been in decades. Because Karen studies coastal regions, she knows a lot about the Chesapeake Bay, and she says sustainable development is the way to go with urban expansion.
I feel like these are really important efforts to make in a city where one of the biggest impacts of a city is stormwater pollution. And anything we can do to make cities more permeable is going to be a huge help to the bay.
Stormwater pollution happens when rainwater washes off our roads, sidewalks, and rooftops, carrying oil and chemicals with it. Instead of going into the ground, the dirty water then goes straight into the Potomac River, polluting what 90% of the area uses to drink. Stormwater runoff is the fastest growing source of pollution to the Chesapeake Bay. In 2015, about 1/4 of the sediment that polluted our water came from runoff. Runoff used to be a major issue at the Wharf.
When it rained, it picked up the cigarette butts and all the junk and straight out into the channel and went.
But with new construction, developers are trying to change that.
We've got a bunch of different approaches to stormwater where if it doesn't land on our green roofs, if it doesn't land in one of our low-impact development zones, if it doesn't land in one of our rain gardens, it comes down. And all along the Wharf, there's permeable pavers where these trees are planted.
Will all the Wharf's sustainable efforts save the Potomac? No, the problem is a whole lot bigger than that. But in a growing city like DC, practicing sustainable construction is important.
This is a very urban area. It's not ever going to be a park. This is downtown DC. So this kind of development, if they can do it as greenly as possible, is a very efficient use of space. It's a great way to bring people to the riverfront and to let them see, you know, this is our river. And
the Wharf's environmental focus helps, but even better, it brings people closer to the water that is so important to our community.
So people make the connection more literally here, but you hope that they then extend it and think about it where they live.